we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't, driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
To know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
and you can get there from here.
DePaul University, here we do.
It begins with our mission and values, a culture of innovation and collaboration, achieving a global perspective beyond the classroom, turning education and theory into practice, developing lifelong interests and connections, and striving to make a difference in our communities. Marist College.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to the EGFC Power Series. We had some great fun yesterday. Obviously, you may have been wondering why there was some double matches. Sadly, one of our teams had to drop out, and we wanted to try to get as good of a broadcast as we could. So you saw a lot of the double round robin. Today, though, going to be completely new matches. There's going to be storylines that we'll have to bring to you, but now we're gonna see a matchup once and done. And DePaul and Marist up first. I'm Zohan, joined by Ashcon, and Ash, I'm excited for this. These two are CS:GO teams, and now I'm gonna have to see them in Valorant.
I love watching CS:GO teams. They've all migrated over to Valorant. I mean, they still keep between the two, keep the competition going, and of course, the aim transfers over more so than not. It's not like they're going from CS to Apex Legends, but to see them competing on different maps is also something very interesting to watch. And speaking of maps, we're going to get you that pick ban phase right in front of you. We ended up on Bind. It looks like DePaul, they ended up banning Breeze and Ascent, which is surprising to see because Ascent is one of the most popular maps for Best of One series. And Marist, they opted to get rid of Icebox and Split. And you know what? I couldn't agree with them more, Zohan. While I'm okay with all maps, I don't mind playing any of them. My least favorite have to be those two.
Actually, I completely agree. I don't like Bind at all. I'm a chamber player, and opping on Bind feels so rough to me. There's a couple of good setups with the rendezvous and whatnot, but I've never had a fun time. But we're gonna be getting into game number one. Well, actually, our only game between Marist and DePaul in just a second. Make sure that you are following EGFC2 on Twitch. Make sure to follow EGF on Twitter as well, so you can get all of the action in a Euro pick. What?
Well, it's hovered. Oh, Ghosty has it locked? Wait! What happened? Wait, what did I miss in VCT? That both teams are hovering Yoru.
One's hovering Sage, but I was expecting Sage for sure.
What? I do want to point out real quick before we discuss the agent selection further. In the off-stream match between DPU and Marist, it went 13-3 in DPU's favor. So right now, this is Marist's revenge match. This is the time for them to shine and kind of prove what they're worth right now. And Johnny Silverhand still isn't getting off the Yoru hover. This is looking like a triple duelist comp. Surely someone is going to switch it up. And there we go. Okay, the chamber is locked in. And you discussed it, that there are a good few chamber lineups in 100%. You could have the Rendezvous, one in U-Haul, and another one in the Cubby on B site. That'll allow you to switch between the sites, of course, instantly. And enables Yorus to kind of exist in both places as once, also known as Schrodinger's defense. So it's something that DePaul will have to keep in mind when they're on the attack, but for now, they get to hunker on down with their Viper utility, Brimstone utility, and Sage utility. They have the three best stallers in the game starting on defense.
Yeah, three best stallers on defense, and a bit of a jumping. I don't know about you, but when I play like other games after I've been playing Valorant for so long, when they don't have a knife, I'm always like I'm like using my scroll wheel, and I'm like, where's my knife? Like I'm trying to pull out my knife. It just never works out for me, and it kind of makes me a bit bummed.
Okay, so I've received word from our wonderful observer Soph that NRG 2-0'd Rise where Som ran Yoru. It was on Haven, not on Bind, but it looks like NA has finally found its first hope in Yoru, and I am so ready for this.
And Yoru hope and just Argos getting in with this boombot. It's been heard, and Dino with this wall. This actually might work out well for them. It's going to be probably confirmed with Dino's location and actually gets shots off. Oh, that was actually... They had the angle. What?
They were up on the cheese wall, and they got revealed, unfortunately. No one broke the dart for them. Unlucky. So they've been pushed back. Paint shells are going to force them off the front site defense positions, and it looks like DPU are kind of caught between all 5 of Marist College.
Yeah, okay, flash coming from Ghosty. Hopefully it gets one. And then pulls into Argos' crosshair. But Dino with 2 evens it out. And good, finally a little bit of a slower pace for just a moment.
One enemy remaining.
Make that nothing. But the paint shells get Jelly and Johnny Silverhand with the headshot. And Marist to start this attack very well. And you don't even get the plan off, but able to pick up a couple weapons and maybe even go into round number 2. Great force buy.
The antique goes most common. I'd be surprised more so if they didn't buy anything up, and so we're actually going to see them. All right, Spectres across the board. Euro a little bit slow to start, maybe deciding on whether they want light shields or not. But what's really scary for DePaul is that Argos has picked up 3 kills on the pistol. That puts them near halfway into the showstopper. If they can get it by round 3, that means the bonus round is almost guaranteed for Marist.
Yeah, if guaranteed. Sago revealing the position, shooting through the smoke, does get the boombot. And Yellow Bros just kind of sees where Dino is. Dino holding with the sheriff, and it tries to shoot, tries to get Yellow Bros. Yellow Bros not even dinked a little bit, so able to do something. And Paint Shell's gonna be thrown onto site. Loose Dinosaurs. Dino's back, and Yellow Bros gets Dino. Johnny Silverhead gets Ghosty. Oh, and B is going to be completely cleared, and I think this round might already end with Yellow Boy there. And it's flashed. Doesn't matter. The Yellow Bros a 3, and an easier win than their first round was.
Let's go ahead and get a peek at that scoreboard again. We're going to go ahead and find... There wasn't really any action for Argos in round 2. So, although they picked up 3 in the first round, there's really nothing for them. They didn't tap the spike, they didn't get the plant there, they didn't pick up an orb at all. So, going into round 3, it's just the full set of Spectres. Now, that's still better than in most rounds. Usually we'll see 2 to 3 players wiped out in round 2. So, Marist would traditionally be relegated to pistols here. They can still do a whole lot with 5 Spectres. It's just got to be a matter of positioning. And unfortunately for Argos, they're in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, indeed. And Shark Dart getting this eye a little bit low, but gonna be healed by their Sky there. But finally, this isn't your ranked games. They're actually gonna heal your teammates because you want them to stay up as long as you can. And a bit of a duel there, missed it out in just a second, but Yellow Bros finally gets a kill. It's something going for them. Paul University, four players up, wanting to win this here. Trailblazers are going to be used, but I think the audio coup, it's going to be B. Yellow Bros get Ghosties, makes it even, and Sago goes down at a long-range duel. Dino already on site. Johnny Silverhand so low, could potentially get something. Everyone is so low. 1 hit each, but can't get the shot off in the end. All up to Jelly here. Just has to get a couple of shots off to get the defuse going. Holding the rest of Marist holding firm, waiting for any bit of mistake, waiting for the potential defuse even. Gilbert, nothing given away just yet. It's now going to be walking in that direction. He's looking the wrong way, and an easy headshot, and Yellow Bros finishes this out, and 3-0 still for Marist College.
That is absolutely crazy. The fact that they leverage the Spectres into a win over the traditional rifles. And then on top of it, that's going to be a huge economic impact. If you look at DPU, the credit score on them, it's looking pretty low, like mine as a college student. But they're really going to be relegated to pistols. You might see a Bucky buy or a Marshall buy, depending on how they want to approach the longer versus shorter angles. Looks like they are going to have at least one Bucky for some cheese. Their options are very clearly limited, and I like that Marist is sticking together. So if by some strange force of occurrence they lose a rifle, it can be held off and kept away.
Sacco getting Argos. Doesn't go for the pickup. I think knows someone else is there. Sage wall has been broken. Dino though doing dynamite work with the sheriff. Might not get the opportunity to do so. And trademark in the smoke. It forces Argos to Sago, excuse me, to break it and back out of there. Does have the orbital strike. Might be using it to force something, but Kingpin gets one. But the peak coming from Link can be getting them, and this pistol round and this pistol eco suddenly in their favor might actually work out well for them. We'll make that, you know. Take my words back.
Oh, Jelly reloaded. That is free info. Neuro is full blind. Doesn't know that Jelly has swung out, and that's the end of them.
30 seconds
Not
left.
like a sandwich. Johnny Silverhand is the last left alive. They've been chipped. They've been hit with the body. Hit in the body one time. They can navigate the map still. Got the spike in hand. It's a 3 versus 1 situation. But Chambers' trickery really shines through in this kind of a scenario. So we shouldn't count Johnny out just yet. And I like the first rendezvous placement. Ready to go back into A main at a moment's notice. Has just enough time to plant and gets it down. No one is here to intercept them. Sage is coming around the corner from spawn, but they're not pushing too aggressively just yet, except that Johnny, you need to have your weapon out. Never assume that the enemy is away from you, and that's going to lead to their downfall. And somehow DPU have robbed the round from Marist College.
Yeah, that was some countries that has to be illegal.
I feel like in most countries.
Most countries, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's Grand Round Auto or something, and or no, Grand Theft Round.
Grand Theft Round?
Grand Theft Round, yeah.
Grand.
I don't know where to go with that. I was trying to make something funny up, and I was like, oh, that's the only way it could actually make sense. But yeah, now. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was about to, Zone. Wise man once said, "Get your money up, not your funny up."
All right, so it mostly gun round for the side of Marist, but of course with the knives popped, it's like going to be popping the Vipers, but early. Not necessarily bad location. Kingpin already at Fountain trying to push into it, but this could actually, if this causes a rotate. Oh, here's the sound effect. Gonna try to deke onto the side. Gets the deke off, so that could allow them to advance more into it. But Jelly gets yellow bros and they flash onto Argos. Double flash, triple flash, but Argos is already out of there. Throws the paint shells. It's gonna hold it off for just a second. That was a quad flash now, by the way, since they broke the duplicate.
Toasty is aware. He knows what's coming.
Oh.
And he's posted up. Johnny is down, and the spike is too. And once again, we're seeing likes of Marist in a 1 versus X situation. This time the full 5 with DPU. Toasty good for 2.
Toasty is, and quad flash to take out Argos, but not needing a quad flash to get a headshots on the rest of these players. And now out equal, which Bind is. Would you say Bind is a defensive sided map, Ash?
I do have to say that, yeah, Bind is a little bit more defense sided. There is no mid for the T's to rotate through. I mean, it's in market, right? You have to go all the way back. You have to disengage your whole push to make your way to the other side, or take the teleporters, which screams, "Hey, I'm leaving." So I would say it's traditionally more defense sided.
I'm waiting, honestly. I want Ghosty to do the fake. I want Ghosty to just run in with it. But okay, Goat uses the dimensional drift, tries to do a flank. I think trying to confirm where the rest of these players are. Okay, pulls back as they go out. So just a bit of a scouting information, getting as much intel as they can as they push into, as the rest of Marist push into Bath. Confirmed the location of the other players. They don't necessarily know where Spike is, which could be vital information. The Tour de Force going to be used from the shadows, also available. Could allow for a bit of play. Shock darts trying to be used to force positioning. They see Ghost. Once still, it's just poking. Ghosty starts this out. Johnny Silverhand gets one, with two going down for Marist. And Kingpin as well. And Spike's going to be down. Trailblazers are going to be used. Both are going to be in Bath, and that's going to be confirmed for them. Flash, not going to push it. Waiting for the flank. But they're going to be pincered into this. They can't do anything else. Surely you know, but not going to be fast enough, and DePaul are going to tie it up.
I feel like Marist they anchored themselves in that round. They didn't rotate. They knew they got spotted. You can hear Yoru footsteps now. Ghosty was not making any effort to walk while in ultimate. So they could conclude, all right, we've been revealed, and yet they just continued to press onwards. They didn't try to pull back, cut noise, re-engage, or pull back, switch to B. They just stayed in place and pretty much got shot, got pinned by DePaul's defense. They adapted, they brought more players, they had someone on the flank to ensure that no one was rotating. And that's all she wrote. And right now, Marist, I think what they need to do is kind of have more control of their flank because, I mean, hey, the trade in market is great, but it's not perfect.
Not perfect indeed. And oh, Dino starts us off with this great wall. Catches the glimpse of another one. Didn't have their weapon out. Was running away with the knife. Trademark going to be used by Johnny Silverhand. Get Ghosty. So the flank not going to be working out the best. Not really thinking it's a double flank. It actually might be running into the crosshairs. Oh, and the works out ran into the crosshairs easily. Goes back, and now 3 ults online. Don't even think they need them. Or DePaul and just Jelly with the great patience. Johnny Silverhand ran away, ran back. Gyro trying to use Aldrone, confirming at least three locations with Jelly using the TP. Everyone's going to be on B, but they could rotate
30 seconds left.
Back around. Jelly keeps Jelly is running around the map.
Dinosaurs on one, picks up the 4K with Euro at the end. That's going to put them up and ready for a resurrection. And I'm really liking how they're playing as a Sage right now. Utilizing those walls, the Grim walls, the Cheese walls, whatever you want to reference them as. And on top of it, being unafraid to push forward. Oftentimes, we see Sentinels who consistently play by their utility. And that's great. That is obviously what you're traditionally supposed to do. But you need to mix things up every once in a while. And I like that Dinosaur isn't afraid to back away from a fight. They're ready to move forward and control deeper parts of the map. Because Marist does not default. We're not seeing them do a traditional 2-1-2 or a 3-2. So it's working absolutely in the favor of DPU's Sage.
Indeed, and gonna be investing utility, gonna be actually going in this time. Boombot down. Hey, Showstopper gonna be used. Is it gonna get anyone? Oh, the TP from Ghosty gets them away, and they get the kill in turn. And a brutal moment for them. Kingpin gets a consolation prize. It's all on Johnny Silverhand to try to do something. And this Trailblazer into Bath, gonna be revealing the location. And Dino with this flank again. Easy headshot for them and clears it out. Oh, that was... Oh, that was tragic, and we're going to be seeing this replay going in. This Showstopper goes in. Ghosty's right there.
Oh.
TP's away, and Argos tries to get it, but Ghosty's too fast. And amazing play there.
You know what pops into my head? Ghosty, he does the little Danny Phantom theme. And he goes, he's a phantom. And he just like dips out. That's what I need. I need that TikTok edit.
Wait. I have an on the air one for you.
Bruh.
Oh.
I had to throw it one time. I'm sorry, everyone. I had to throw it in one time. That was the last. That was the first and only time you will hear that on this broadcast. Yellow Bro's already pushing into U-Haul. Gets one. Okay, that's a start. That's exactly what they needed. They've been losing first blood multiple times. Jelly gets caught out a little bit by these paint shells. Does catch the glimpse of Johnny Silverhand. Does finish it in the end. Now the retake gonna be quite immediate. They're already there on site. Sago has to push into here. It's the first. Uses the steam beacon. Doesn't get a second so far. Has to get the ace in order to clutch it here. Shock darts missed both times, but sadly it's gonna be not enough. And Marist come back though, 5-4, and you know I have to think, Ash, if it's 6-6, would that still favor Marist in this situation?
If it's 6-6, Marist would have a struggle and a half going on to the defense. They have very little retake potential. They have, I mean, sure, they have the synergy between Chamber Trademark and Ray's paint shells, but that's about all they got. I feel like on the defense, unless they're willing to make aggressive plays with double duelist and initiator on A, it's not going to go well for them. They need to end this half 7-5 at the minimum, which means stringing 3 rounds in a row, and with the way that they're playing, with the way that they're being intercepted, it's looking a little dicey.
Move on again. It's like they've really been liking A. I don't think they like their B pushes as much anymore, especially once the guns have come out. Okay, 4v4. Waiting for. He was hearing some gunshots coming out. Johnny Silverhand going down, and my silver-handed friend, and not gonna do too well. But Ghosty not only getting res, Dino gets the res off and a kill on Kingpin. And I've seen a lot of Spider-Man, but I don't think Kingpin can really take it from here. Okay, that was a nice headshot though. That was one.
Does not have the spike, but does have from the shadow. So what he could do is run all the way to B site, then use the ult to pick up the spike, and then go for an instant plant. But I think they're aware that it's being held. The issue is, I don't
30
know
seconds left.
if they're ready to clear each and every angle. Sago is in an amazing spot to watch Kingpin cross. And there it is, a headshot. Kingpin falls. That's 6-4. Marist, I don't know if they have it right now to even bring it to 6-6. It's looking really tough for them.
Yeah, it looks really tough for them. Couple ults though online for them. They have something. Hunter's Fury gonna be able to be used. Ghosty could scout out where they are though, to potentially stop the whatever ult usage they want to have. Kingpin from the shadows. A decent ult could allow for some.
Get out of my way.
Some tactics, some special tactics. But knives are going to be popped as well. So wanting to save a little bit more. A nice headshot. That is exactly how you want to be starting this. Should be able to get picked. Jumps off in the air. Goes in. I know waiting. Gets one. Doesn't get the second. So Marist is going to have the player advantage for the first time in quite a while. And this retake's going to happen from 2 sides. Not the most utility. Viper's Wall already been invested onto A.
I'll handle this.
Okay, but Dimensional Drift gonna be used, getting some information. Scouts 1, trying to scout 2. Doesn't even matter. Jelly goes down. It actually goes straight into Johnny Silverhand's sight. Takes one out though. But Yellow Bro's too fast with the knives. 2v1 for Nasai. Jumps straight down where Gyro was missing, and Marist one away from 6-6.
Last round before the switch.
Well, let's get a replay on it. Beautiful knives coming out by Yellow Bros straight to the head, and Dino Sour lines up everyone to get some damage off. And this is the peak, the pinnacle of the retake. Ghosty pops out. He's a movement player. Let's call that Apex Legends movement and call it a day. Give him his respect. if you're Johnny Silverhand, your ego has got to be curbed in that kind of situation.
Indeed, and notice they still have quite a few ults online. The Tour de Force now going to be up. It's the last game. It's the last round of this half, so you have to be using it. A wall. Oh, this is the brutal kind of wall. Boombot gets stuck. Gonna move out of hookah. Just steps back, and once again, he's a bit empty. Viper's Pit, and with Dino, they think that they can shut down B. And actually, they are right. Marist is going to be backing away.
Well, the important bit here is that, you know the information of the Viper's Pit. Dinosaurs wasted all their utility first 25 seconds of the round. The Viper's Pit is going to be forced to go down, so that utility will be completely spent is the most important thing. Yellow Bros in the smoke finds one. Is going to get flashed by a Yoru clone, but the main body will still fall, and it's a take by Marist.
It's a take by Marist. Oh, Paranoia. Gonna be blinding them there. This is exactly, it's looking like 6-6 Tour de Force used, and Yellow Bros with 4, and Marist end the half with 6-6 on what should be an attacking favored side, but DePaul, great defense. And yeah, just on a tear through this. It's one, shoots the duplication, excuse me, but just the headshot easily, and just wanting to make sure that this is equal going into the half.
Everything completely reset. The approach for what I'm imagining the approach for DePaul to be now is send in Yoru with the clone, have the clone gain information of the initial angle, and then take the swing alongside Skyflash, or some variation of that initial utility. That's what I'm expecting. They don't have any space, they don't have a dash like Jet does, no ray satchels to go in deep. They're leaving it up to the flashes that they have, and the little information they can procure, essentially.
Indeed. I apologize if you can hear the car alarm on my mic. It is gone now. Nasai gets the first pick, however. Dino's going to be planting. This is looking good, especially with the Sage Wall. It's a pistol round. Sage Walls can do a lot. You have to usually try to break them with knives. I was gonna be hinting at it. Peeks one, gets Sago. It's been dropped, but Jelly in right on the side gets 2, and Jelly with 3 clutches it out for DePaul. Win this first pistol, and I wouldn't be too upset with that.
Force all the way straight to the Bulldog. Jelly is going with a pretty wise buy. That means that if they can win, if DPU brings it through, the Bulldog can remain valid even for the rifle round. The issue is whether or not they stay alive, if everyone stays alive long enough to make that a reality. Right now, if you're Marist, you're relying completely on your chamber, Johnny Silverhand, to land a shot with the Headhunter to reduce the amount of guns, and they've got only 1 round in it. And it's not even going to get to fire. Doesn't even leave the chamber. But
yeah, Kingpin shoots the duplication, maybe revealing a little bit. Nice kill though onto Dino. Even in the chat says nice shot. Okay, well, 4v3 retake, and as you mentioned before, not a lot of utility. Gyro has to wait 15 seconds. Can't even get a recon dart. And really could do it in time. Wants to do something with it. Ghosty, nice fake teleport. It's Gyro for it. Sees Yellow Bros. Gonna be flashing in. Doesn't get a flash off. All on Yellow Bros here. That's a start. Still at 1v3 though. Probably not enough time, and it is not 8-6 for DePaul.
So now Marist have already exceeded their round score in the previous map. So they've done a good job for themselves in growth. They've certainly adapted to DPU's play style, and you can see that no round has been made easy for DPU. These aren't like completely sweep rounds where all 5 of DPU are surviving. So for now, we can still call it an even game. No ultimates really available for either side, no orbs being farmed, and that's actually a signature that we've been seeing for the past 14 rounds. Neither team has gone for the ult orbs with the intention of picking them up solely. They're usually just a byproduct, an afterthought, sometimes not even picked up when the territory is taken.
Yeah, no one. Yeah. Slower from Marist again. Duplication just gonna be standing at the wall. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for. I want the fake out. I want it to where they think it's the duplication and they don't shoot at it. But Marist have been consistently. They have been consistently going for it. So I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon. But great bamboozle. It should and could occur anytime. Recon dart gonna be.
Oh my god.
Nice spot, but Yellow Bros with the flank only gets one. Oh, you can't mess that up. You could have got more. Johnny Silverhand peeks again, gets two. And Marist have a player advantage against Jelly and Nissan.
Blind 30 seconds left.
It does get one confirmation. And Nisa with the flank sees two, gets one, gets two. How? This is turning on its head instantly. Nisa and Jelly can take B. Trademark gonna be a little bit confirmed, but they're just gonna be rotating back to B actually, because they don't have time to plant anymore. But Arcros is rating right there, and Silverhand with 3. It takes us closer.
That is huge. Yellow Bros, I think they thought Sage was already dead, that they already picked up Dinosaur's frag and rotated off, and it definitely had to catch him by surprise that they didn't already perish. That's gotta hurt, but it's okay. We did see right after Johnny Silverhand did pick up the frag, so the effort wasn't wasted, it wasn't squandered. We move into round of 16, and it looks like we got a couple of rifles across the board for both teams, but still Marist kind of relegated to the lesser end of the economy. They're gonna have a Marshal and a Judge, which still can do work. To see what kind it does, but Dinosaur is the one that gets the opening frag.
Yeah, and with Dinosaurs getting that first one, that could be the nail in the coffin for this round. For Marist, Spike gonna be done, healing up the team a little bit as much as they can. Argos gonna be revealing their position with the movement. Gonna catch the sight of Ghosty. Flash doesn't connect. Jelly goes down to Silverhand, I think, through the wall. Argos gets Ghosty in the end. Gyro gets one with the Marshal.
Standing ahead.
And suddenly, what was looking... I say suddenly too much. What was looking like a chaotic situation actually goes back in the favor of DePaul. Dinosaur with 3. It just does not want to give a single inch to Marist.
That was a very dangerous defuse. I'm actually surprised it got as far as it did. About, 3/4 the way through before the Brimstone Molly took full effect and someone swung to ensure the spike wasn't going to actually end up defused. But, DPU, of course, ready for the recovery. They're not going to let anything fall too easily. 4 ultimates in their pockets. They got more than enough, and they already launch off with both the Seekers and the Orbital Strike. That's going to lead to Yellow Bros falling, and once again, they're targeting this A site.
Yeah, targeting A works out very well for them. It's going to also be investing the Viper Spit, so they're just investing everything into this Gyro, though. Beautiful headshot. Or just headshot. And also, okay, Hunter's Fury as well. Doesn't get Jelly. Holding it too firm, and Jelly dodges it. Okay, and 4v3, really a bit low. Using this Trailblazer to try to catch something. Catches where Gyro's at the wall. Silverhand goes down. Gyro with the Marshal.
1 enemy remaining.
Gyro goes down. It's all up to Kingpin with this Marshal, and can't do enough. Double digits for DePaul.
Yeah, it's 10-7. They take the lead. It's a 3-round difference for Marist to make it back. It's going to be a struggle. But I got to say, for using, let's see, 1, 2, 3 of your ultimates, you would want more value out of it. I want to say that, you know, Marist had
That's a good spot.
few weapons in the last round. They didn't really have anything to work off of, anything to really use. So I feel as if a little bit of optimization would have led to them using those ults in this round instead, but I also like that they're willing to commit to ensure that they raise the round differential, and I think that's also a really important part of specifically this format, the double round robin. They want to come out with as many rounds above everyone else as possible.
Yeah, this dimensional drift, getting at least a little bit of scouting information is going to stay on to the side as well. That was where it starts this off. Yellow Bros gets ghosty. Nisa just, it keeps every time Marist start with 1, they lose 2.
You will not.
Hasn't been equally traded, and with Ghosty being rezzed, it's going to be a 5v2. Kingpin gets spotted. Not going to get any damage off. Excuse me. Make that very quickly gone. Yellow Bros shoots the duplication. Ghosty peeks, clutches it out. 11-7. And DePaul move up quite well. Looking at match point very soon. I jinxed it there. It's not going to happen now.
Don't casters curse them before they even have the chance.
I'm gonna
breathe a little bit.
Casters cursing it here and now.
I want to say that the performance by DPU has definitely exceeded expectations. I mean, across the board, you can see all of them hitting the double digits for kills, and I really like the way that they're using Yoru for the utility that he brings. You know, it's not a traditional, all right, Jet, you're going to dash in and we'll follow after. They're very patient with how they're implementing their utility. For example, right there, Trailblazer is rewarded by a kill onto Yellow Bros. Now, Hero isn't necessarily out of the round. They're posted behind the truck. They know better than to hit the clone, but the main body is still going to take them out.
Fake teleport.
Yeah, and once again, just Marist trying to do a retake. They have a couple of ultimates though that could help them out. Showstopper maybe getting a multi-kill. Boombox confirming the location of someone. We don't know who, at least on the side of for DePaul. Silverhand and Agros. Satcheling out, gets headshot instantly. Silverhand with the Stinger headshot. Okay, it's gonna happen. I just clutch it with the Stinger. Not gonna happen, but clutch it can't work. And now match point for DePaul. My caster curse at least got one of them dead, but didn't allow Marist to really clutch it back.
Argos with the Showstopper and Kingpin with From the Shadows. Now, on a map like Bind, Omen's ultimate, you know, has a couple of niche spots that can be utilized, but on the defense, it's really risky to leave your teammates alone, especially with the lack of defensive util. Had Marist opted for a double Sentinel or double Controller, maybe their Omen would have a little bit more freedom in implementing From the Shadows, but that's not really going to happen. Maybe used for a retake to get information. I doubt we're going to see any commits to a final position.
Spike down.
Well, that's one way to maybe force something out. Beautiful op shot there. But Nisa gets one, goes down. Lower's holding long again. Checks the Phantom. Looking for Dino, but a beautiful, just gorgeous look down and sees the Spike. Spike will be picked up by Jelly. But not a lot going for them. They have a flash now. Some healing that make that none. OST gets one. Actually has decent amount of utility. It could maybe do something with this. It's gonna get spotted, but the gun wasn't out. OC gets a second. 1v2. Throws out the decoy just to check something. Thinking where he is. But they're just holding on both of their sides secure. Knowing that he probably has Spike. It's all up to Ghosty. I think Silverhand has heard some sound cues. It jumps to sight. Silverhand's gonna be within range to hear it.
Cutting through.
He's holding the angle perfectly. This is all that he needs to do, but Ghosty has to plant in time. This is going to allow Silverhand to rotate, and the plant goes down, but Silverhand is right there. And this is going to be Marist's first. Was this their first one on defense? Second.
Oh,
I think
we'll get a clear look at the scoreboard in a few seconds, but I guess we're going to check out these op shots first, one at a time. The way that one by one, Marist just dwindled the numbers of DPU until finally, of course, they get the spike defuse for free. And yeah, it was their second defensive round win. The first one by slaughtering, and the second one by defusing.
Beautiful. Gorgeous for them. Not out for DePaul right now. They still have their entry util with that dimensional drift. Been using that a lot to scout out and going straight in with it.
Cutting through.
See how it goes out for them. And remember, they're on match point. They have an economy. I wouldn't even be too worried at the moment. Checks Argos, but two have gone down. Two are pushing through this smoke, and it's just pandemonium as Ghosty finally gets one, but didn't check any in time. And the shadow's gonna be popped. It's Gyro. Almost evens it out. But Spike. Okay. Paranoia gonna be used, but they're not gonna be pushing it. They're not gonna be going through with it. They're just holding an elbow in Link. Kingpin with the judge. Ghosty gets one. Ghosty with the ace chance to clutch it out. Gets Kingpin. One more, but can't do it. And Silverhand denies the ace and denies the win for DePaul University.
Once again, poor Ghosty getting consistently trapped in these clutch situations and just not able to complete the task. And I mean, who could you expect to really do such a thing? It is nerve-wracking, to say the least. But it's great practice. I mean, for now, they've got a lot of rounds to bleed. 3 more before DPU have to be sent to overtime. So they don't have anything to truly be nervous about, but they certainly have a lot to discuss with how they're losing so many players before they even get the spike planted.
For hellfire.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, immediate orbital strike. It's gonna be dinking a little bit, but nothing too dramatic. Kingpin holding this U-Haul position. Gyro with the Odin, just no more Sage Wall. Just an immediate retake for them. Doesn't get anything with most of their ult so far. Trades coming from both sides, but Nisa makes it into the favor of DePaul. Odin just spraying and praying. Doesn't get it. Oh, it's all on the line now for Argos. Spike still keeps going, but Ghosty clutches it out. 13-9 for DePaul University.
Definitely a much better showing by Marist. Again, in the first map together, 13-3, DPU took the win. And again, they do, but 13-9 this time around shows Marist is adapting. They're not allowing themselves to stagnate. They're coming up with new strategies. And they're evolving, and they get more and more time to do so as this bracket goes on. They have a long day ahead of them.
Yeah, no, they do, and they still have a chance. Like, obviously, this is still very early on in the day, so remember, they're not necessarily out. DePaul looking good going forward, wanting to try to push it, try to keep going forward. Yeah, it's gonna be rough for them though. This is definitely a harder group to break through. Additional teams playing, and so it's still a double round robin though. I think they wanted to maybe make it a 1-1. 2-0 is not the most optimal way to start the day, Ash, but I think some life. I think maybe just better hero selects, maybe better lineups, and they could have done better.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they did want to likely even the score, but they need to be playing for the round. So if they can just pick up those, if they drop them here, all right, they can still look forward to the future matches. If they can get everything the rest of the day just going in their favor, build them up. If they get, at least a majority of the rounds from the rest of their matches, they can still make it to that final bracket next week. But whether they make it or not, whatever the final score may be, we're going to find out. We're going to see everything develop after a short break.